Carolina Lishman's death 3 years ago was the culmination of a domestic violence incident of the most serious kind. The couple had recently separated, and Rael Lishman was unhappy his wife was moving on, taking place during a time of what the judge described as heightened emotional tension. The November 2017 attack left Carolina with 12 stab wounds, including 2 to her back and 1 that fatally penetrated her heart. Lishman also sustained injuries, including 1 life-threatening wound to the heart. Although forensic evidence suggested this wound was self-inflicted, the court heard it was possible Carolina stabbed her considerably larger husband first. It is said he then took the knife from her and lost control, launching a frenzied attack on his wife. The court heard her injuries would have rendered her incapacitated within seconds. The alert was raised by their then 6-year-old daughter, who was present at the time. Lishman later stood trial for his wife's murder and was found guilty by a jury of 12. He was sentenced to life in prison in early 2019. However, his lawyers subsequently launched an appeal on legal technicalities, arguing the defense of loss of self-control was not given fair consideration during the trial. The appeal was successful and the murder conviction was quashed. The case was set for a retrial. However, on the day it was due to start, the defendant pleaded guilty to manslaughter. This was questioned by the judge, who said it seemed there was enough evidence for murder. However, the prosecution explained it was the family that didn't want to go through another trial. The plea was accepted on this basis. The family dispute this was their wish, and say they've been betrayed by the prosecution. Months of legal wrangling then followed. Reporting restrictions were put in place, but these have now been lifted. On Friday, Carolina's family were able to tell the court how her death has impacted them. Her father, Christopher Murray, said his family will be haunted for the rest of their lives by the violent death of his daughter and the traumatic events that have followed. He described how the murder conviction had left them feeling a sense that justice had been served, only for it to be taken away from them by the prosecution, who he feels betrayed them by misrepresenting their wishes surrounding the retrial. Carolina's sister, Doris Murray, echoed her father's sentiments as she stated, "The justice system has failed us." She described the gut-wrenching pain they'd suffered by the loss of her irreplaceable baby sister. "Nothing will ever be the same again," she said. Miss Murray also highlighted the fact her sister's husband has shown no remorse for the killing. "Not once has he ever said sorry," she cried. Puny Judge Karen Prescott also highlighted Lishman's apparent lack of remorse when sentencing. His defense lawyer said the spur-of-the-moment tragic attack followed a high degree of provocation by his victim. The judge acknowledged this may have been the case. However, in response to comments, his violence was completely out of character. She pointed out Lishman had previously been cautioned by police for slapping a former partner. The 10-year, 10-month prison sentence goes beyond court guidelines for manslaughter convictions. Puny Judge Karen Prescott explained she had chosen to sentence higher than his usual practice because of Lishman's extreme violence, as well as the profound impact Carolina's death has had on her family, particularly her children.